Testing, testing. Hello. Are we back? Can you hear me? Are we live? Please tell me that you can hear me. Yep. Okay, good. So, OBS is actually what crashed that time, which is annoying. So, I am working on frantically getting my stuff rearranged. Then we will continue and hope that it holds together. You know what? I'm going to kill Warudo, take a little bit of load off. What I had planned to eventually do is take the setup and have my model mirror what my movements are, even though I have very janky tracking. I don't have full tracking. I'm using a camera. But seems like that's not going to happen. Sad. I am super pleased with my skills, though, with the fact that in spite the glitching and the freezing, I was able to effectively parry several of those hits in spite my problems. So, you know, that's nice. Where'd my sword go? Oh. Cool. So let's see if turning off Naruto for now helps with my issues. Thank you. Well, this won't be an issue or anything. Okay, I'll take a shield. Shields are good. Shields are nice. I'm trained in the shield. Here you go. Let's see if this works better, shall we? I'm too far away. No, don't crash on me. Holy crap. Despite the glitching and crashing, I beat him without taking any hits. How about them apples? I'm quite proud of myself. Okay, I can't do the shield. I've got a disconnect positioning that I need to handle. All right. All right, big guy. No, why does it keep crashing out? Well, you know what? Ah! I thought I killed you. He's gonna, yep, there we go. Ah! Yeah, it's definitely the high action motion. I lost my shield. Okay, if this doesn't work for much longer, we'll switch to a normal game. I'm trying to think of what else I could possibly do to try to make this run better. You know what? I'm gonna try something. Can I reduce? You know what? I'm gonna reduce my resolution. Gonna cut it in half. Let's see what happens when I cut the resolution down by half. Also, does this setting do anything? Alright, big guy. Let's see if cutting down my resolution does anything, huh? Also, I want my shield back. Of course. Why wouldn't he be back? Dark Souls game after all. Well, you're gonna be our test, big boy. I'm using chat as a shield. Come on. Round 2. Okay, the resolution did it. How about that? No damage. Told you guys I know how to fight. I don't have my shield. My shield's back where I dropped it. Haha! Ah, you're not dead yet. Now I've taken damage. Because I forgot he dies. He doesn't die in that. Alright. Alright. Said consecutive hits. That's pretty crappy, but I'll take it. Where'd my sword go? Crap. Not taking it for granted this time. There we go. Yeah. Oh, this is a healing potion. Huh. That was the healing potion. Okay, so it was the resolution. It was just too much for the GPU to do, which that makes sense. You know, this is VR. It's a little bit more than your traditional high fidelity video game. Nothing, you're nothing, that's what you are. I'm not the biggest fan. You can't pocket the shield like you can a sword. It makes sense, but it's a little annoying. I don't know if I'm going the right. Well, why do I keep dropping this darn thing? I'm not letting go. Yes. That's probably where we were supposed to get confused and come back around. I'm going to check it anyways. Yeah. I can't drop the shield, and I really want the shield. I'm trained with sword and shield. I'm not really trained for just sword. I can do it, but I'm not great at it. Yeah. See? You're supposed to get stuck at the door. I'm just checking just in case. But yeah, there we go. So that was the right way. Oh, this is a good workout. Especially since I'm a little bit like not gonna say mud, maybe sand. Cat VR is the cheapest VR option for a treadmill by far. It's also one of the smallest, but your it's not the greatest in terms of ultra smooth movement. Because you're just sliding along on the floor. Ooh, potion. Huh. I should probably add some oil to this at some point as well to avoid wearing it out. You have to oil the shoes. Ha! All right. All right, I'm assuming that guy's not going to hurt me. Here we go. Please. All right. Oh. Uh-oh. Must be this way. It is this way. Ooh. I am going to need to stop soon for this. Oh wait, can I do this? I can do that. Ha! I can put the shield on my back. Thank you. So this is going to be sketchy. Ha! That was sketchy. Ha! Oh, thank you for a rest spot. All right, you're going to use that as a break point because I need it. Okie dokie. Give me a sec to get out of this. No. That's like, oh no, but you just finally got it working. But like I said, this is very much like walking through mud. So, well, no, not as bad as mud. I'm gonna stick with sand. Very much like walking through sand. So it is a very tiring experience. So I just need a little bit of a breather. Whew. After an hour of standing, troubleshooting, and then having to fight while glitchy. But at least we got that fixed. I'm so glad we got that fixed. Also, I've realized that my microphone is good enough and directionalized enough I can keep the good one going instead of using the helmet mic. So, unless you guys saw a problem, we're sticking with that. Oh, I could just leave that on. Sweet. All right, I'm not going to turn on the VTuber. I'm going to... You know what? Do I have... Can I add just like a picture? Do I have an easy to add picture that I can do just to be like, yes, I'm here? Here, this is an old one. I'll get a new one. Whew. Gonna do that while I take a little bit of a breather. Recover from all of that. But yeah, this has been one of the many things I have been working on for quite some time. Looking forward to doing is me in VR, because, well, one, it's neat, and two, it's like I've always felt like VTubing really is well suited to doing VR because of the attempts to put yourself in the game. Though obviously that seems like that's not going to happen if we already had these problems. So, Gatorade. So anyways, so we're going to lose some of that, but I'm not giving up being a VR streamer. Now that I have all this, you know, I invested a lot of time and money into this. I am not giving up on it now. But yeah, this is something I've been working for quite, I say a year, probably over a year. And yes, I know that several of the platforms are just not working right now. I've fought enough with the issues that I don't feel like continuing to troubleshoot at the moment. So there's that. Also, we've been distracted by the technical difficulties. I do need to say a big thank you to everyone for getting me up to 500. I have officially applied for monetization stage 1. So, you know, we're at 507 out of 500, which is absolutely awesome. That is going to go up to 1,000, assuming they approve me. Huh. So very, very thank you. Hopefully that will benefit the stream in terms of, well, that will help pay off this, basically. Help me get less janky setup. I very much get the multi-machine setup that a lot of people use. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet in terms of being able to stream. Okay, I know how to do it streaming just the VR, I think. I might be able to make it work with VTubing as well. Because if I do multi-machine, then the VR machine only needs to worry about the VR, and you know, the former Linux box, now another Windows box, is much weaker than my regular machine. But since it won't be playing games, all it will have to do is worry about encoding and in streaming, maybe, like I said, VTubing. But I don't know how to do the cross. How do I do a cross VR thing where I'm tracking the model on a second machine? Because, yeah, something to look into, because that gets dangerously close to 2 sets of VR tracking equipment, and I barely have 1 set. Oh. I barely have 1 set of VR things. I don't need to, I don't want to be buying another one just for that. Especially after all this. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to take a unplanned early break. I apologize. I will be right back. When we get back, I'm gonna think about, well, yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a short break, oil the shoes, because the shoes slide on the platform. So maybe if I oil them, I'll reduce the friction a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Make it make it a little bit easier to move. And then we'll try some more Grimlord. And then I think if this just ends up being like, I'm sick of walking in mud, the plan B will be Chrono Trigger as the less frustrating of the two Sunday games that we have going. So, how does that sound for the direction that we're going to be heading here? All right. I will be back in a couple minutes. I returned. Okay. And unfortunately, I don't know for how much longer. Not the exercise. Fortunately, it's dinner. But it does get very, very frustrating because I am enjoying myself quite a bit. We got through the troubleshooting. We got things working. And here we go. Prove myself right. I have been saying, since I have done any kind of Dark Souls games for forever, that if you put a sword in my hand, I will do better than using the darn controller for these things. I have said over and over again, it would be easier to parry with a real sword than it is in Dark Souls. And guess what? I just proved it. Admittedly, part of the reason why is because I have parried swords in real life before. Though, you know, you guys have to take my word for it. You guys have to, you know, you haven't attended any matches or anything where I've appeared that I could say, see, that's me. I know how to fight with a sword. You just have to take my word for it. So, this is kind of as close as we're going to get. So, I'm hoping, just give it a couple minutes. See if things are well. If they are, I'm jumping back in because I really am enjoying it now that the problem-solving part of the stream is over. You know, I am enjoying doing Dark Souls first-person shooter. All right, let's see if it's easy to do with the controller or not type stuff. And I think I said a couple times, I know the category says it, but I feel like it should be said again. The game I'm playing is called Grimlord. It's on Steam. It's in early access. So the game cuts off before it actually finishes, though it apparently has quite a few hours of gameplay to begin with. And that is apparently straight through gameplay. That's not counting your usual Dark Souls die for the 12th time and come back. Super pleased that the only time I died was because of the game crapping out on me, which again was just too much demand on my computer, not the game's fault. But yeah, I didn't die to my own ineptitude somehow. I died to, oh, where's the enemy? I can't see. I'm blind. So super pleased about that. And yeah, I guess just to fill some time while I'm seeing if this is gonna go away or not. I've been planning this for over a year, well over a year now that I actually look at the timeline. I've been saving for forever. I've been making sure that I had Empty Room on credit. And now that I finally I finally found an opening on a sale, I picked up the Cat VR. That's the omnidirectional treadmill, if you want to call it that. And then I'm using an HP Reverb G2 for the headset. And then those of you who know VR systems know, wait a minute, there's no body tracking with that. I'm using, or I had planned to use, something called Standable, which is a program that just uses a webcam to watch you and try to figure out where your stuff was. And I was going to use that as a controller for my model, not for my locomotion, in order to give me, make my model appear to be in the VR game. And the Cat VR is neat, though it definitely has its drawbacks. Like I said, you're not walking like you're walking like you're kinda in sand or mud. So there's a lot of resistance, a lot of extra resistance compared to what you're normally doing. And so it does slow you down. You could I'm sure that you can hear me stomping on that thing. as fighting just to crawl around the room. I am it now. They do give you a bottle of oil when you get the thing that you are. Oh yes, we are experiencing leg day right now. They do give you a bottle of oil, which if I get back on tonight, I'm gonna put on the shoes, which is intended to try to grease them up, smooth them out. Because if you don't take care of the shoes, if you don't oil the stuff in order to keep things going as smooth as possible, you are going to destroy them and need more. When I was investigating the cat VR for, okay, is this really what I want? Am I going to have to save for one of the other ones? What's going on? Someone used this to walk from one end of Skyrim to another in one, I'm not going to say sitting because he wasn't sitting, but in one long marathon. That's actually a super appropriate way to put it. He did it in one long marathon. And by the end, the shoes were falling apart on him. That he had, because they didn't stop to oil it, because there was just, they got dry, they got worn down, high friction. He just destroyed the shoes trying to do this test. Now, this was like a proper reviewing setup, so they had the budget to do that, unlike me. But it's like, okay, note to self, oil the shoes. And they say in there that that was a criticism that they had of the system. But then underneath, the Cat VR team actually showed up and said, hey, here's why that happened. We gave you a bottle of oil, use it. which is a fair counter to their complaints when you think about it. So, me trying to learn from other people's mistakes. I'm gonna make sure I got a little extra oil on those shoes if I get back on tonight, and see if that helps smooth it out a little bit, make the movement a little bit easier. Because, I describe the shoes as Heelys. They're only sort of Heelys. They have a single wheel on the side, not all the way in, not perfectly centered, and then a smooth rest of the base, which, when you're on Heelys, you're supposed to balance on the wheels. So the only thing you're moving with is the wheels. With the shoes, you're moving with the whole shoe. That whole front of the shoe at the very least is sliding on the platform directly. So you can see where that extra friction is coming from. You don't slide your shoes on the concrete when you're walking down the sidewalk, do you now? And I've mentioned this sliding thing multiple times. I should say that the bottom of it is built like one of those dish sleds. So, it's raised on the edges, it's lower in the center, and then it has a little scaffold that you strap yourself into. You might have heard me tearing myself out of it, so that it keeps you centered, and as you walk, you're walking in this dish. And so that's how it gives you that input, because you've got sensor on each shoe, and then the scaffold itself has a positional sensor and a vertical sensor. That's the word I'm looking for. So that it helps to gauge moving up and down besides just the helmet. And you can set it for jumping. I did not set it for jumping. I thought, okay, that's going to be way too loud. Instead, I focused on having maximum kneeling range so that I can get down and crawl through stuff if I have to. So, you can put it around your lower hips. Mine is further up on my chest to give me more room to duck down and crawl if I need to. You can't really fully crawl, but you can get down pretty low. So that's the basis of what that is. And then HP Reverb G2 is a little bit of an older VR model, but apparently they still work pretty good. Mine generally works pretty good when it's not glitching out the way that is, which I'm pretty sure that's a software issue, not the headset issue. And then that is, I'm just going to look up to see where they're sitting right now. And then that is my setup at the moment. And it's working pretty well. They are not for sale. Goody. Okay. Maybe it's a little older than I thought it was. Oh, no. And I have actually had the headset for a while. I wanted to test and play around with VR to see if that was even something I wanted to move into. Because it's one of those things where, okay, this seems like a good idea, but is it actually a good idea? And like I started to say, and then we kept getting distracted and stuff, I keep thinking that VTubers really are perfect for the VR setup. We've already got to work with all this tracking stuff, especially 3D VTubers. We already have to work with all this tracking stuff that we're doing. We're animated characters on the screen doing animated character things. Why not, take that the next step and, be the characters in the games? Especially since a number of VTubers, the 3D VTubers, maybe a couple 2D with the new stuff, already use VR equipment for various things. But it's like all they ever seem to do is use it purely for tracking or VR chat. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place, but that is what I have personally seen and found is that they're just like using it for regular VTuber things, or like I said, VR chat, which half the time they're in a private room doing regular VTuber things anyways. They're still not really taking advantage of the technology. Again, at least that I have personally seen. Pre-saw Reese, you've got there. You're probably thank you. I appreciate it. So I said, you know what? I picked up this headset on sale for like $150, I think. It worked well. It's worked well. I've enjoyed it on my own. I decided that the thing I am missing is the full body tracking and the movement. I just don't have room. This is a very small computer room that I'm in, that I've set up for myself. I need to save for the treadmill, any treadmill, if I'm going to do this, because I'm as janky as my setup is ultimately in terms of everything stretched together that isn't like the top shelf. It's still going to be done right, quote unquote, as right, if you want to call it that. And so that's where I stand with this whole thing. Is I just said I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna do full body tracking as best as I can. I am gonna throw up the proper lighthouse setup on on Throne if anyone wants to help me with that. And we're gonna do. That's gonna be what I integrate in. Though I feel really bad now about that up to is up to isn't going to be alone. People are going to feel sick watching me do first person VR things, and I've got to figure out how or what I'm going to do about that, because I don't want people to get sick when I do that. I'd like to become like a VR VTuber. It's not going to be the only thing I'm going to do. I have a list of games. I've told you guys the list of games before. We're not dropping them. But, I would like to do the VR thing and be a VR VTuber and be more than VR chat. But I don't want to make people sick. I don't want people to come in and be like, oh, I don't want to watch this because it's making me woozy. Found out a few days ago that Borderlands 2 is a VR version. That's oh my gosh. Oh boy. Good luck with that. I may add it to the list. We'll see. I've got a couple games I want to do. And this is the thing that I couldn't get set up in time for Friday. I wanted to do a VR game on Friday. And I'm not just doing VR games. I have looked into and found some of the programs, many of which are free, like UEVR, that lets you inject. I think UEVR is free. Did I pay for that? Or did I donate for that? I think that's free. Let me... It is free, yeah. Which lets you inject VR into non-VR games. So I'm not going to say which ones yet. We're going to start with the VR games because those are the ones that, you know, are going to have the least amount of problems, which tonight has, you know, makes me nervous. But we will be able to turn regular games into VR games and play some of those. And I'm really excited for that. Because there's a couple games that I know work with this kind of technology that I really, really want to be in. You know, that I don't want to be looking at it in a screen. I want to be in the game, and this is how you do it. Current save up for Xbox Series X, though, so PC headset will have to wait. Good luck with that. You know, we each have different game sets that we like. I obviously am a PC player. My newest console is a Switch. And we obviously don't bring that in as much. Bring it in occasionally, but don't bring it as much. But yeah, it's the ability to say when we were just limited to VR games as a whole games player industry, which this is my first VR setup if you don't count an Android phone and a headset. When we were limited to you can only use VR with VR and you don't have any other options, you had to hope good games came out. Obviously, some good games have come out and are coming out. So yay. But that does sort of make the cost a little bit like, do I really want to do this? But the ability to turn non-VR games into VR games massively opens up the potential and lets you select from a much, much bigger library. And so, because of that, you know, it makes VR gaming, both as a gaming thing and as a streaming thing, much, much, much more viable and worth it. It's going to take some work. You know, I'm still problem solving on the first game that I'm trying this with. We're having issues. Well, okay. I can get the VR to inject correctly. Controlling is currently being the issue. So that's something I'm going to have to problem solve for a while. But, you know, that we're in a pretty good place right now, you know? Even with the problem solving and needing to make it work right. That just opening up the game library really, really is a huge improvement from you buy a VR headset and you got 3 games that are actual games and about 20 tech demos. And that's all you get. Or a theater. Which, don't get me wrong, VR IMAX, that is kind of awesome, but it's not really worth the cost of admission if that's all you get out of it, you know? Okay, I think... Thank you very much for the follow. Very appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think that whatever's going on with dinner has calmed down enough. I'm going to take a swig of Gatorade, and then we're going to see if we can get hooked up. I can get back into Grimlord, and we can make it to our next save point. All right, let's see what we can do. Where's my Gatorade? I gotta get oil. I gotta oil the shoes first. That is important. I just spent 10 minutes talking about why oiling the shoes is important. How about we not forget about oiling the shoes? Okay. That's the Gatorade. Where's the oil? There's the oil. Okay, gotta snip that first. I do not have scissors here. I'll be right back. I need to get scissors so I can snip the tip off of this little oil container thingy. Scissors have been acquired. All right. Okay, you want me to cut it there? I can cut it there. Maybe I can't cut it there. I can cut it there. That's neat. It has a little plastic holder thingy so that it stays attached. I can approve of that. All right, shoes. It also has one of those little paper things in it. Maybe pulling that out so that the oil can actually come out would help. We're real professionals here. All right. Paper removed. Ow. Hit myself on the desk. All right, the paper has been removed. Let's try to oil the shoes correctly this time, shall we? That's one. That's two. The shoes have been oiled. Ta-da! Alright, you know what? I am going to also trade in a fresh set of rechargeable AA's for the hand controls. Just to be safe. We've had enough glitches. I don't need my hands to stop functioning in the middle of the game. Especially since these rechargeables might be rechargeable, but they do not last as long as normal AA's. Okie dokie. So, that is one controller. It has the wrong cover. Hi, Rippy. Welcome. You missed all the technical difficulties. And that is controller 2 with the correct cover. Okay. With that done, let me see. We have oiled the shoes. We have batteried the controllers. Let us... My arms haven't been the problem because it's like walking through mud, Rippy. Also, I have already proven myself correct. It is easier to parry with an actual sword than it is with a controller. Though, again, I will stick to my little caveat that I do have the advantage of having a sword fighter background in real life. Okay, I'm getting in the set. Okay, so shoes on. All right. Strap myself in. Okay. And this has a lot of straps on it in order to make sure you don't fall and hurt yourself. Thank you for the lemons. All right. I am strapped in. Now, Steam VR is off. Windows Mixed Reality has gone to sleep. So, I'm going to have to get set up back again. Let's hope that this works. The first time this time. Which is not the first time. It's like the 5th time. So you're going to have to bear with me as I get this set up. I won't be able to see chat for a minute, Grippy. As a mod, you're going to have to earn your keep. Okay, good. Very good. My floor set correction has indeed worked. Okay, start Steam VR. Now, once I'm in here, I should be able to get my chat back up. But again, I am relying on my mods to help me with this. Currently doing almost 500,000 damage per oof. Alright. If my controller would turn on. Thank you. We're gonna find out. Left controller, please. Left controller, please. I just put new batteries in you. Turn on. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna dock chat back where they were so that you could be my shield. Starting Grimlord. Launch. Okay, it's just decided the menu's over here now. Okie dokie. Oh. There we go. Oh yeah, that oil makes a world of difference. Sorry for the noise. Sword there. Yep, got my shield back there. And what you guys can't see is in my view, you guys in chat are right above my shield. So it's a little bit like Jean in Ruby. That's a shout out. All right, here we go. All right, first boss. All right, big guy. Let's do this. Aha! Uh-oh. If the sword would move with me. Maybe I can get you off the cliff. I'd like to get in those gaps, please. You know? The gaps, please. Okay. Of course you want me against the wall. Well. I don't know if it's designed to actually work with that, with what I'm trying to do. But I'm doing some chip damage at least. Oh, that is working. Sweet. That's really dumb, but it is working. I don't know why this is working, but I'll take it. Oh, he's gonna get me. Okay. Oh, there he goes. Well, that explains this. Okay. Thankfully, I put my weapon and shield away first. So, I still have it this time. Alright. So, we gotta think of a better strategy than just trying to chip away at this guy while blocking. Because he's clearly getting through the damage, even when I'm blocking. So what am I supposed to do? Because the only thing that I know how to do is aim for the weak spots in the armor, which I've been trying to do, but I don't think the game is modeling well. What do you guys think? Yeah, it did make the Estus Flask harder to use. That is a problem. I'll give you that. The Estus Flasks in this game are harder. Huh. What do you guys think? Let's have a little sit while we brainstorm a better plan. parry the heavy swing to off balance and chop his head off? Well, I mean, okay, yeah, that's what... I was using the shield. Maybe if I stick to the sword for that, that could work. That could be an option. Just taking a little breather, get off my feet so I can go in refreshed while I think if there's any other... I mean, I wonder. Maybe getting him off the cliff was the goal. Not that trying one strategy completely precludes the other. It's entirely possible to do both at the same time. You know? It's entirely possible to try to parry with the sword and try to drive him to the cliff while using that strategy. Oh my god, spoil makes movement so much easier. It's just he's got some very obvious over-the-top swings, which will kill you, but if you can throw him... I mean, I was able to block them easy enough. It's just a matter of if the parry is what you need or not. Alright. I'm almost going to have to go in, leaving the shield on my back. Very quickly. Okay, got my back. Come on. Come on, big boy. Ow. Hello, please. I'm walking. Thank you. All right, we're just going to do this. That was a block. All right. Those were blocks. You know, you'd be so to cover me thinks it's my strategy. Yeah. Because those were most definitely blocks that he just ignored. So, okay. Just having another sit. Because I jumped back in, but I gotta admit, I'm a little iffy on how I'm feeling still. You know? I am a little iffy on how I'm still feeling. So, gonna take it easy to try to help me get through as much of this as I can. Hopefully get to the next one of these. Hold on. Man, it's a good thing I look back at that. So, I am going to have to use the shield to block. Because that was the only thing I was able to reliably block from him. Or block against him. Or, you know what I mean. It's like sword and board is... Yeah. That seems to be the strategy. Which is a little bit annoying. Just because having the freedom of the other hand. But there's not a lot of other options right now. Because that's all I have. I have a sword, I have a shield, I have a couple potions. I have like 2 potions, I think. I mean, I have magic. Not that I know how to use it yet. Now for project, oh look at Cliff. Yeah, I think the Cliff is gonna have to be our answer here. Because while I can do chip damage to him, the fact I can't actually jump to the side or roll just because of my setup means I'm kind of limited at dodge options. But I don't have the room in my house to be able to set that up for real, you know? I barely have room for this setup. You've heard me bump into a couple things even with it. Yeah. Just going to have to try to charge him off that cliff as fast as we can. Because we had him going towards there. We had him going towards there. All right. All right, kids. What's far? What happened? Make a run for my matter. Come on, Papa. All right, big guys. I'm going to get you over here. Come hit me, big boy. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Come on. Oh, no, you don't. Now you're going over. No, you're going over. No, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. Yeah, that's right. Oh, no. I'm not going over. Ha! How do you like them apples? Let's get away from the cliff. Oh. Well, I'm almost out of health. All right. I'm gonna go save. I'm a little bit off kilter for my positioning. Okay. I'm gonna have a sit. Ah. Sweet, sweet victory. Okay, I don't know if he responds or not. We're gonna find that out right now. And it's better to know that now than later. But I do need to sit after that. Because, like I said, I'm not sure how I'm feeling tonight to begin with. So this exercise is not helping me. I mean, yeah, the exercise is helping me because it's exercise. But it's not helping how I'm feeling. You know what I mean. Because I'm here really trying to keep up my energy, stay excited. I don't think something agreed with me. Wait. So, I don't know how or if this game has a different menu so I can see what I have. Oh, matter, 582. Okay, I guess that's what I have. You know what, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat just to see if he's still there. No, but there's something here. What's that? Oh, come on! No, no, I'm out of here. Missed me. So, we can fight him again. Well, it's going to be good practice. Come on, big boy. Get back over the cliff. Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Oh! Oh, I got rewards. Okay. I made a mistake, but I fixed it. And I did it without wasting a ton of health this time. So I'll take it. saw something glint. I did not see something glint. Never mind. Oh. Away we go. I think I'm going to make it to the next stop point. Then that'll probably be it. Alright, before we cross the rickety bridge, it's over here. I don't see anything, but my glasses are also a little foggy. I don't think so. Hold up. I'm gonna hate this. I don't know how I spend matter. Okay. There's gonna be more. There's always more. Stick sharpened weapons into the wooden board to help you climb? Oh no. I don't think that that's working. Alright, before we go that way, we're going that way. That's why. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm going to look around a little bit more before I call it quits. Alright, so it wants me to climb that. But I think I need like a pick or something. I don't think the sword is working, unless it means like that's not there. Oh, there we go. Now. That is not helping me climb at all. That is helping me climb. I need a second sword. What are you doing? Not pick up a ball, that's what you are. I still think a pair of picks would be easier than doing this with the sword. Come back here. The answer is no. All right. Are you gonna check me or can I talk to you? You look like you're alive. Person. Hi. Can you help me? I don't have a menu. Can I take your sword? I don't think I can take your sword. Can you say something else? I don't have a menu. I don't have an action button. I'm mute. Help me. Can you give me your helmet? Okay. Ooh. Can I have that belt? Right. Oh, I think I got a slot for each shoulder. Do. Yes. Yes. Okay. Oh man, I'm the wrong-handed shooter for this. I'm a god. So I have a very limited number of arrows. You're right. This is not the greatest inventory in the world. Well, I think I'm stuck. Magic! We got magic, folks. Not that I know how to craft a spell thing. Can I steal these for climbing? I cannot. Alright, I now have a bow, 30 arrows, a sword, and a shield. I'm screwed. Alright. I'll go in that way. Still need to find a second store. Now we have options. Hi. So you're gonna kill me, right? Because you are armored, and if you're saying you're only as good as your foes. This looks like a hub. Say, get the weight. Aha! Shortcut. Got ya. So they want to make sure that we know there are people there, but this is faster for whatever we're doing. Alright, let's look around the hub at the very least before we do anything else. That's probably her master. Ah, screw it. I can go with this. Mind if I have a look? Never mind. We're trying. Will do. Yeah, I got you. Now we're going to look around the hub, then I really am going to stop out of necessity for, okay, you just teleport. You look a lot like a character I was working on. All right, folks, are we doing this? How bad of a decision do we think we're going to make here? Well, if you're not going to answer, I'm going to do it. $20, $19, $18, $17, $16, $15. Oh, it seems to be. This is the leveling, isn't it? Fine, give me that. Oh my gosh, it is the leveling. I'm stupid. Okay. So that's all of my increase 1 point of vitality. Mana. Generation. Okay, so all I have is health and ooh, wait a minute. Oh, I have to do that first. But getting to the health regenerations is like goal number 1. So our next talent point is going to be health regeneration. Thank you. I am no longer maidenless. And we have acquired a waifu. I said that weird. You know what I mean. Alright, well, I probably don't have any money for the store. I'm assuming this is a store. But we're going to find out what it is anyways. So we got a path. Got another room. Yeah, this is just a round table hold. Hi, what do you have? Smelter. Alright. Gee, thanks. Okay, I don't need any matter, but I do need more wood, iron. Okay. And leather. Okay, that's cute. Ooh. Check the scroll for stored items. A pirate scimitar and a spear. Okay. Well, before I do that, we're going to see what else is here. That must spawn there. Got you. Well, both grip buttons and grab the all. Here's where we're picking our class. Clothing. Knight armor, archer armor, wizard robe. What do we think? We doing knight things? We doing wizard things? I'm not worried about the archer right now. And I think the axe is on fire, as it were, is just that, like the magical crafting thing. I could be wrong, though. Here's the thing. I can sword fight in real life, which actually has some weight. Excuse me. Told you something in my. It's sword fight in real life, but you actually have some weight here. You're right. I have no staff. Nice. Please? Please? I'm doing what you're telling me to do. I want the armor. Oh! Alright, folks. Knight armor get. Now, might still nobody, Mr. Shopkeep. Alright. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh. Yeah, this is magical summoning based on materials. Aha! Right. I'm just going to have a quick look around, but I think we're about done for tonight. Oh, this is right back here. Okay. And I'm not entirely sure where I'm going either. Unless it's grabbing the other sword and climbing up. Oh, we should do that. You do that before we end. Just to have another win. Bye. Spawn. I'm hitting spawn. Duh. You think this is funny, don't you? Snowy VT, thank you for the follow. Well, this doesn't look cursed or anything. Okay, I'm assuming I got it. All right. I'm saving, and then I'm out of here. I can't put the equipment into the back slot. All right, gotta put this in the box first. Whoa! What just happened? Did taking the necklace off just kill me? Okay, yeah, you're going in the box. I'm not putting you back on. You're staying as far away from me as you can. Screw that. Well, we thought the necklace was cursed. The necklace is in fact cursed. I'm going that way. All right. I'm out of here. a good workout. All right, give me a sec to get out of this. That is fun, though. Holy crap, that is fun. All right. Who needs a step when you have a VR game? You missed what I was talking about. That is actually tougher than a stepper because of the extra resistance. Well, unless you have a stepper that lets you crank up the resistance. It is tougher than just a base stepper because of the fact that you're sliding across the floor or its little dish or whatever. So even set to maximum smoothness, it is going to have a fair amount of resistance as you drag your foot along. Man, that's fun though. And it is a good workout. I am sweating right now. And it's a lot of work walking around, followed by a few moments of terror in a sword fight, then back to work walking around. Time for break and then other things. Give me a sec to catch my breath a little bit, have a little Gatorade, and I got to decide what I'm going to do. You know, I just realized part of the reason why it's a little extra work is... This is so dumb. Part of the reason it's a little extra work is because I'm talking while I'm doing all this. Duh. I'm not giving my body a chance to actually get the oxygen that you're supposed to get from breathing because I'm like narrating everything as I go. Duh. No wonder that's so much extra work. Because except for when I'm doing like 10 reps on a stepper or whatever, whenever you guys decide to use the redeems, I'm not talking while I'm exercising. Which you could argue makes it better exercise because it's making my body work that little bit harder for it. I can get behind it. I can get behind it. So we did about an hour of problem solving and break and about 2 hours of Dark Souls in VR, I think. Does that about come out to the time? So I gotta decide how okay I am, because I'm trying to keep sounding cheerful and stuff. But I don't want to get too TMI, but not great with how I'm feeling. Boy. Just taking a sec to try to reorient myself, check on things while I'm sitting here. Whew. That's fun. I mean, I cannot stress enough how much fun that is. I'm enjoying myself. I don't want to wait until next week to continue. I don't want to wait until next week to continue. Now, the plan that I'm thinking right now is not that we're going to have like permanent ongoing VR now. I still want to get through the other games. I can go fight the boss over and over again for more matter while we wait. You're always welcome. So here's the thought. The thought was that at the beginning of each stream, I'm going to do an opener with the VR. Afterwards, we switch to the non-VR games where, you know, we've got all the farming games for the casual Friday we need to get through. Maybe it'll just be VR and farm. Maybe I'll throw another thing in there. We'll see. And then do a little bit of Grimlord, at least to start on these Sundays, followed by more traditional Souls like Steel Rising, as well as, of course, working through Chrono Trigger and Zelda and so on and so forth. That is what I'm thinking at the moment, at least. I don't know if that's going to get too crowded. I wanted to do as much VR as I could tonight because, you know, it's the reveal of the VR. Plus the fact that it took us 40 minutes to get it working right after I spent all day today getting it working right. I wanted to make up for lost time for sure, in spite not being sure how my stomach's doing. So, you know, I'm sitting here sipping on a little bit of Gatorade, which is probably not the greatest thing for an upset stomach. I should really go get ginger ale. As I decide, am I going to give it one last push in VR? Am I going to do an hour of a regular game, or am I going to call it quits and say we had a successful night? Because once it got working, I was having a lot of fun. Devs of Grimlord, you did a good job. Also, I really like that they gave the option to get the knight off the cliff rather than just chip away at him. I didn't look up the actual mechanics of the game, though. I really wanted to go in blind, which is exactly what I did. So I do not know if you get any kind of like armor cracking weapons or what you're doing when it comes to that. Depends on how sore you want to be in the morning. I mean, it is a workout, but it's not like I'm that out of shape. I'd like to think I'm in decent shape. I can easily do a couple miles without being in too bad a shape. What's 2 hours worth of walking in distance? Pa, 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 pa. Well, untrained walkers can complete a 2-hour, 6-mile walk at an easy... Okay. So, maybe I did do a couple of... Wait, hold on. Cat VR tracks. .6 kilometers. I have walked 2.6 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles. Cat VR tracks by session. .6 miles. While narrating, okay, that's fair. As I said, I'm not getting the same amount of oxygen as I would when I'm doing normal exercise. I figured out the best way to test your computer once it's brought back to full capacity. Skyrim in VR. It is very neat that it tells you how long you're doing in a session. I like that. So I did just over 1.5 miles tonight. You know what? I can be proud of that. Again, it's not... I've done 10Ks before. So, not like I'm in terrible shape, though you make a good point about the fact that I'm not talking while I'm doing a 10K. So I've got all the oxygen I need. I'm also not trying to track chat, do entertainment, that kind of stuff. But that's going to be a neat thing. I like that. The fact that, you know, for however long we do it, maybe we'll just do like an hour to try to keep it reasonable of VR at the beginning of each stream. And then we'll see how far we went in whatever game we were playing. Or at least walked, because some of these games I have planned, there are going to be other modes of transport besides trudging around a castle. Now, on to your thing about Skyrim in VR. I saw something relatively recently, just a month or two ago, that I really want to do, but it's a long-term project thing. Someone else did it, but I want to steal the idea. I want to arrange it, modify it a little bit from what they did, that I think is really, really neat, but it would take an enormous amount of work, and I am not in a position to do it, and I really shouldn't do it because of what it is. Someone turned Skyrim into an isekai. It doesn't have to be Skyrim, but I would love. But though Skyrim is probably the best game to do it with because of all the mods and things that are for it. But I think it would be really, really neat to someday arrange like an AI-powered isekai, because that's what they did, where the characters have the AI mod with their personalities and little storylines put in, and if I have it right, the person is no longer playing as the Dragonborn. You're playing as you dropped into Skyrim. And I think it would be really, really neat to have your own personal isekai in VR. It probably has to be via Skyrim, because I don't know that there are any other games except maybe Fallout that have a mod with AI that you can put to the characters that would really make that work. But if we could arrange that sometime, you know, that's a future goal thing. Obviously, that's not a now thing. I've got a couple VR things I want to do, and then, like I said, I have ways to port regular games into VR. So we have plenty of VR content to start us out. But I saw that and I thought, you know what? I'm an anime nerd. I watch a lot of isekai trash, and I know it's trash, but it's mindless entertainment, and it's better than a lot of Western stuff. And I would like to have my own little isekai fantasy like that sometime, and it would be really neat to do like a vlogging through whatever isekai adventure on stream. That would be neat to have a on-stream isekai adventure, quote unquote, for real, if you know what I mean. But that would take a lot of work. I'd have to find someone that would be willing to do it for me, and I have to have the money to pay him, because I'm not going to ask him to do that for free. And I just spent my VR budget. My VR budget is drained. Actually, my VR and my streaming budgets are both completely drained right now. But that's just something I saw that's real neat. Just I think all you got to do is look up Skyrim Isekai and you'll find it. But that was something that caught my attention. But for now, we were doing Grimlord on Sundays, and I want to do a different game, but it's not playing nice. So what we're probably going to do I hinted at this on Friday, but now that I've revealed I'm doing VR, we're gonna return to No Man's Sky on Fridays, at least to start. We're going to do some No Man's Sky in VR, especially since they just had that massive new update that they did. So, we got a really bad start last time. It really didn't show the game off well anyways. Going and exploring No Man's Sky in VR is going to be awesome. Don't throw food at me. Do not throw food at me. My stomach is having problems right now as is. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you instead of playing more Grimlord. Like, I am not as cheerful as I sound right now. Well, okay. I kind of am, because Grimlord was really, really fun. But I am not feeling as good as I sound right now. But yeah, No Man's Sky, at least for now, and Grimlord. You still see the same frame? What do you mean? I'm not playing anything. Yeah, I am not, that's a picture of my model. That's not the actual model. Unfortunately, running VR and Warudo at the same time was a bit much. Now, it might work now that I've turned down the VR settings. That might have been the problem. I do not know. I will experiment with it over the week. But yeah, I turned off Warudo for tonight with the in order to make some room on my GPU, because I might try a dual machine setup at some point, but right now, the Linux box turned into a less powerful Windows machine is not set up at all. I went all in on getting this set up, so I haven't got anything ready on the other machine. Just imagine Rinmo Tempest Elden Ring. Oh my gosh. If anything, maybe when Do VR can have a PNG tuber. Maybe. I gotta think. Like I said, what I want to eventually do is have the full body tracking on my VTuber while I'm doing VR things. But yeah, after tonight, since I don't have a 4090, I think I'm going to end up having to either figure out a 2-machine setup or live with this for now. Though I am glad that we did get a solution tonight so that we could play some of the game. I'm happy that we at least have a solution. Maybe I'll turn the VR stats down a little bit more. I don't think it needs to look as crisp, because the VR itself is fine. And I guess I've known for a while that I don't seem to be susceptible to the normal disorientation type things. So I can live with a lower resolution if it means getting the stream to work. So I think that's going to be our plan. And I do think I'm going to call it quits a little early. Just sort of winding down, letting the energy bleed off. But I don't think we're going to be doing I don't think we're gonna pull up a game for the last hour. I'm just gonna let the energy go, and then we're gonna call it. So yeah, we're going to be doing 2 games on Friday, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll bring in a third one. But yeah, No Man's Sky, and then more Stardew Valley on Friday, followed by Grimlord, Steel Rising, and Chrono Trigger on Sundays. And I think that is going to be our schedule for now. Have a wonderful Isekai Trash-Filled Dreams. That is more real than you know. I have probably watched a little too much Isekai Trash in my life so far. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to bring in at the moment. I think that rounds us out pretty good. I thank you all for bearing with the beginning of the stream problems. I apologize to anyone who is having problems with the VR. Maybe if we just set a hard limit of the first hour of the stream as VR, so that it's then fairly safe to say, okay, for the remaining 3 hours of the stream, just come in a little late and then we won't have VR. Or I don't want to do VR last, because if we do VR last, then I feel like it's, I'll have the least amount of possible available energy for it. I will think about it till Friday, continue to try to problem solve, see what I can get done. But yeah, good night, everyone. Thank you. I hope that you've all enjoyed. I hope you've all had a very good evening. I hope you've all had a very good weekend. Be safe. Have a good week. And I will see you all in a new game in Friday. Laters.